Decided to play God of War 2018 again on the PS5 in preparation for Ragnarok coming later this year in November. And it got me thinking, was this one of the best games to release on PlayStation? And when Ragnarok comes later this year, do I want to see more of God of War 2018, or does there need to be a massive improvement to the overall experience and gameplay? The one thing I would change in the game, I wouldn't let my dad Kratos speak to me like that if I was Atreus, I tell ya. Oh, sorry.
Do not be sorry. Be better.
Okay, I will. I'll try. I'm sorry, okay.
I played God of War 2018 quite a few years ago now, when my PlayStation 4 was on its last legs. I haven't played the game with the update for the PS5, and a lot of people were messaging me and telling me you need to play this game on PS5.
Okay, one person did.
So in preparation for this video, I started playing it on the PS5 with a new game plus. Will I want more of the same, or does there need to be some massive improvements? But before we start, KIWI HOME sent me one of their accessories for the PS5, and damn am I impressed. Now I'm not sure if you're like me, but a few times my PlayStation has just come up with this message that it is too hot in this room and you need to turn it off. It's not even that hot. They sent me a cooling attachment that attaches to the back of your PlayStation. It has two settings, one high and one medium, and I use the medium setting as it's very quiet and it keeps my PlayStation cool. It comes in black and white, so depending on what faceplates you have, you can make it match your PlayStation. Also, if you do have a Switch, they have a load of Switch accessories that I don't actually use anymore because I don't really play that useless console. Anyways, back to the video. I love the way they have brought Greek and Norse mythology together. It just fits so perfectly, being a massive fan of Immortals, Phoenix Rising, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Not the story, but the setting. Early on in Zeus's life, he learned of a prophecy that one of his children would slay him. He sent his two kids, Athena and Ares, to find out who it was and kill them. Deimos, Kratos' brother, was likely the candidate due to certain markings on his body, and they stole him away from Kratos and sent him to the god of death, Thanatos.
Deimos! You are free now, brother.
Kratos then married and fathered his child Atreus. He became an amazing warrior, but he was absolutely brutal. He killed innocent people, essentially a murderer. Kratos then learned later on that Ares knew that he was actually the god that was supposed to kill Zeus, or the god that was prophesied. Kratos eventually wanted revenge on Zeus for killing his brother and would eventually go on to kill his own father. Fast forward to God of War 2018, and he fled to Midgard and wanted to put all of his past behind him. And you think that's what's going to happen until...
My turn.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
As you start your journey, one of the Norse gods is after him, and early on in the game you fight Baldur, the son of Odin, and damn, does shit go down. You've got this epic fight with Baldur and you're thinking, why has he come after Kratos? You realize that Baldur cannot actually feel anything and he cannot die.
I want you to know one thing. I can't feel any of this.
As you play the game, you see the development of the relationship between Kratos and Atreus, and as a father you are trying to nurture Atreus to grow and control his anger. Kratos does struggle, and he struggles to be a father throughout this game, and you see how it changes, which is emotional. As soon as I started playing the game for the first time on PS5, I was simply amazed by how good it looks. The 60 FPS performance mode takes it to the next level and runs so smoothly. It's a very linear game, but I really enjoy just looking around, finding collectibles, appreciating the environments. I prefer that this is not an open world game because it just wouldn't work. The amount of detail as you go along in the game is rich because it's not a full open world game. Odyssey, Valhalla, they're games that are just too bloated. In terms of Ragnarok, I don't see there being much of a graphical update because of how good the graphics is on the PS5. This is a cross-gen game. This is going to be on the PS4 and the PS5, so I would be happy with the same graphics, probably minor improvements. Now, coming back to this game for the first time in a long time, the one thing I really noticed was the absence of a jump button. Now, you do notice it as you go along in the start of the game where I'm walking around, I'm appreciating the graphics, and then I'm trying to jump onto something and you can't do it. You have to go up to something and you have to press circle, and then there's an animation that happens. You quickly get over it throughout the game, but from time to time you go back to it and you're just like, there needs to be a jump button in this game. It just feels a little bit outdated. The use of his axe and weapons is simply amazing. The way you can throw his axe, use it to freeze enemies, is insane. When you call it back, it is one of the most satisfying feelings in a game. And as I press triangle, that is so satisfying. As well as that, I've been able to use his Blades of Chaos, which simply is breathtaking. I'm on a new game plus. I'm using the Blades of Chaos from the start of the game. The combos you get to use in the game, along with Kratos' Rage when you press R2 and L2, there's no stopping him. It brings the gameplay and the momentum to another level. I did find myself button mashing a little bit. Story is probably the strongest part of the game. It is gripping, it is addictive, and all you want to do is see how their relationship develops and what happens near the end of the game. This is one of the best story-driven games on the PlayStation. Not only that, you see the downfall of Atreus as he starts to go against his father's wishes, forces Kratos to open up and to become a father and actually listen to him. You get to improve Kratos and Atreus' armor, gear, and weapons, which makes it a lot more personal towards what you want, especially when you get to change the way his axe looks. The way I've designed my axe looks absolutely incredible, and it would be quite good that I could finish with this axe at the start of Ragnarok, but that's probably not going to happen. Go back to the basic axe from the beginning of the game, which isn't a problem, but if it was a little bit, you know, backwards. Now, there are not much negatives to the game at all. The only thing I would say is that the use of a jump button just brings it down a little bit. There are things that I think, oh, I could climb on that, and then you can't. The upgrades to his weapons and armor is a little bit confusing because there's things that will make my armor better, but it doesn't look as great, so I'm like, nah, I don't really want to do that. So what do I want from Ragnarok? I would be happy with just more of what I've been playing on God of War 2018. Now, I don't expect too many changes, but more or less just more improvements to the game. The use of a jump button would be great, and it looks like we're going to get that with the new footage that was released, and damn, does this footage get me absolutely hyped for this game. You can see how we have some improvements like a jump button whilst we are in combat. You can literally jump from another area where there's enemies, so it looks a lot more fluid. I would love to be able to wield Thor's hammer, and I truly believe we will. Why would they put it in the collector's edition if we couldn't use it in the game or later on in the game? You would think in the collector's edition they would just include his actual axe. That makes me think that we will be able to use Thor's hammer, and that would just be unbelievable. The God of Thunder. Well, you know, we're in England and there's been a lot of rain lately. Now, what do you think about Ragnarok? Are you excited for it? Do you care that we haven't seen much footage? I hope they're not going to show too much, although they're probably going to do a state of play. I wouldn't care that there would be no footage shown for this game, but there probably will be. Make sure you comment below. If you like my content, I just want to let you guys know that I've opened up a Patreon account, so I am over at Patreon, and if you do want to support this channel and help me grow, then you can head over there, links in the description below. Let's take a look at the comment of the day from my previous video, top 10 must-play horror games on the PS5. Shout out to Sarah McNabb, love your videos. My PS5 arrives tomorrow, so I'm definitely going to try Visage. I've been more of an Xbox and Nintendo gamer, so the only PlayStation I've owned is a PS2, so I'm super excited to play the PS5 finally. Thank you for the comment, Sarah, and I really do hope you enjoy your PS5. You enjoy it more than your Nintendo Switch. But there are some crazy horror games, so there is plenty to choose from on my previous video. Well, I'm gonna have a grenade energy drink and have a break before I start editing. I always get this in my bit.
What are you doing?
Sorry, I didn't mean to. I'm sorry, Kratos.